NBA players, not NFL players, NBA players, Taylor Swift. And that's just a couple of things that's on my mind. Think about that for a second and wonder, what the hell is Stephen A. talking about? Well, you're about to find out. Stephen A. Smith Show coming your way right now. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you, as I love to do, at the very least 3 times a week over the digital airwaves of YouTube. Finally back here in my beautiful studios. By the way, appreciate all the love and support you've been throwing in my direction. Followers have now exceeded over 534,000 subscribers, picking up over 85,000 subscribers in the last 3 weeks. Can't thank y'all enough. Appreciate the love. Keep it coming. And you know I'm going to keep it coming as well. To continue to follow the Stephen A. Smith Show right here, just click the bell to get notified of all of our new content, and bam, you'll be a new subscriber on YouTube, okay? Got a lot of stuff that I wanted to get into. I usually bring up a New York Times best-selling book that I want you to go get, Straight Shooter, a memoir of second chances and first takes. Go to straightshooterbook.com and grab the daggone book, okay? Or Amazon.com. It'll be there too. I got some NBA stuff on my mind that I wanted to get to because I was incredibly passionate about it this morning on national television, and I wanted to revisit that topic in a more intensive fashion, or in a more intense fashion. That's the first order of business for me today. I wanted to address the comments made by Indiana Pacers point guard Tyrese Halliburton and what he had to say on the NBA's rule of a 65-game minimum players must reach in order to be eligible for awards like the Most Valuable Player Award and the All-NBA honors. Check out what Tyrese Halliburton, had to say here. Quote, "I think it's a stupid rule, like plenty of the guys in the league." He goes a step further, okay? But this is what the owners want. So as players, we got to do our job and play in 65 games if we're able to. So that's what I got to do. Take care of my body to be able to play in those games. And I think you're seeing other players in the league kind of face the same thing. As long as the owners are happy. That's what he said. I disagree with some of what he said. It ain't about the damn owners. It's about you. Not Tyrese Halliburton, but the modern day player and what you've regressed into and the lack of appreciation you've showed for pioneers who came before you that put you in a position to get the money that you're getting. But before I delve any further and deeper into it, I wanted to show you and air for you what I had to say on First Take on ESPN this morning. That's my day job. This is me talking to my man Mad Dog Christopher Russo of the Mad Dog channel on Sirius XM Radio, Channel 82. This is what I was saying to him and host Molly Kiram just this morning on this very subject. Take a look. They came up with a strategy that's going to compel you to play in those games to ensure that you earn your damn money. Because the people who built this league for you, that's what they did. Michael Jordan couldn't have sat out games. Patrick Ewing couldn't have sat out games. All of these people that's played in the NBA, the Kareems, the Wilts, everybody that helped build this game, they couldn't have set out these games, but they did. You know, they didn't do it. Why didn't they do it? Because it wasn't just about them. It was about the league and really propping up the league and making sure you live up to a standard that was set before you. They did it for the future generation of players. And some of these players, not most, not all, but some of them have basically gave the proverbial finger to the league, right, to the media, to the public. And the NBA said, damn that. Amen. Giving myself an amen. But it buffers even more. It's augmented even more by the great Irvin Magic Johnson, who tweeted out his response to those very comments I made on First Take this morning. This is what he wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter. Quote, "I was so happy to watch First Take this morning and hear my great friend Stephen A. Smith and Mad Dog talking about the new NBA rule where players have to play in 65 games for at least 20 minutes to be eligible for MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved Player, the All-NBA teams, and the All-Defensive teams. Fans were upset after spending money to see their favorite players not play, so my friend, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, had to take action and implement this new rule. It's good for the league TV partners, ABC/ESPN, TNT, NBA TV, the local TV partners for all 30 teams, sponsors, the NBA, and last but not least, the fans. You know, I love when my boy Magic Johnson watches my back and look out for me. Thank you, brother. You know I love you. Check this out. What about Wilt Chamberlain? Remember the great Wilt Chamberlain, ladies and gentlemen? In 1962, Wilt played all but 8 possible minutes for the Warriors. He set single-season league records for minutes per game at 48 and a half, and minutes played 3,882 minutes. 48 and a half minutes. That is more minutes than is in an actual game. There's nobody that's doing that in this day and age. We understand. The level of parity exists. The game is harder, it's faster, it's more physical, there's more wear and tear in your bodies. We get all of that. This conversation is not about injuries. It's not about injuries. It's about people who were sitting down even though they were healthy enough to play because they wanted to preserve themselves and prevent themselves from getting injured while they were collecting a damn check. That's what this is about. It's about you choosing to go to work when you want to because your contract guaranteed. And you know, come hell or high water, no matter whether you take days off or not, you're gonna get paid. Now, if everybody was like that, and that was the culture of the league, and that's what it was built on, it would make more sense. That's not what it was built on. Michael Jordan played 15 years in the league. 9 times he played all 82 games. 12 of the 15 times he played 78 games minimum. 12 of the 15 years. We see that. Karl Malone played all 82 games 10 times. John Stockton played all 82 games 16 times. Gary Payton played all 82 games 9 times. Even Kobe Bryant played all 82 games 4 times. He came in the league in 1996. We don't see that. You see the numbers up there. Scottie Pippen 5 seasons. Dennis Rodman 5 seasons. I already mentioned the other names to you. Notable Hall of Famers and the number of 82 game seasons they played. What are we seeing today? We seeing cats taking games off. You want me to go down the list? Can I get it on the board, please? Show me the list. Let's start with it. Let's talk about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard has only played in at least 65 games in 3 of his first 12 years in the league. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, he hasn't played 65 games in the season since 2017. But guess what? Unlike Michael Jordan, who averaged $4 million per season in his career, or a host of other players who paved the way for these modern-day players, Kawhi Leonard has already earned $276.5 million through this season. Kyrie Irving, you didn't think I was going to forget about him, did you? Kyrie Irving, magnificent handle, ball handling skills, finishes at the basket, a superstar talent in this league, has only played in at least 65 games in 4 of his first 12 seasons. And he hasn't played 65 games in the season since 2019. Through this season, Kyrie Irving will have earned $270 million. Anthony Davis, Los Angeles Lakers. Bravo. Bravo. My God. He's only missed 3 games this year. Beautiful thing. Everybody's making a big deal out of it. You know why? Because Anthony Davis has played in more than 60 games in each of his first 6 seasons, but he's only topped 60 games once in the last 5 years. He will have earned $266.6 million through this season. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, he's averaged 28 missed games per season over the last 4 years. When you rave about Anthony Davis missing only 3 games this year, and you applaud him because clearly he's worked out and he was ready. He didn't get ready, he stayed ready, and as a result, he's balling for the Los Angeles Lakers this season. Do you know the part that you're leaving out? Well, evidently, you're saying that he must not have been doing that before this past offseason. That's why you're applauding him. So all of these years you were collecting this money, you weren't prioritizing being in pristine health so you could come into the season ready to roll. And of course, there's Bradley Beal. formerly of the Washington Wizards, now a member of the Phoenix Suns, played in at least 65 games a season in 4 of his first 7 years through the 2018-2019 season, including a pair of 82-game seasons, by the way. He's legitimately injured. Nobody's questioning that. But he hasn't played in more than 60 games in the season since. Beal will have earned $267.9 million through this season. Why am I bringing all of this up? I'm bringing all of this up because everybody wants to talk about new media, new media, new media. You heard Draymond Green say that, right? You hear other people alluding to that, right? Especially former players, right? Most of whom I got nothing but love and admiration for. But that don't mean you always right. The same media you snub your nose at, the same media you have these podcasts just to articulate and disseminate a message that says, yo, you can rely on us because they ain't gonna tell the truth. Where's your truth? Where's it at? How come you didn't do that? Walk over here with me. And I'm looking at my producers here. Put this damn stuff on the board when I tell you to. Put those names up on the board. Put the names of people that was missing games. What about the load management? What about dudes who weren't hurt but sat out a game and go into the stands because the coach wants them rested? Greg Popovich, that's what the rule should be called because he's the one that started all of this. Remember when they had a game in Orlando years ago, and after the game in Orlando, they had a back-to-back the next night in Miami against LeBron and D. Wade and the crew, and Greg Popovich not only didn't have Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker in the lineup, the man sent them home through the Orlando airport on Southwest Airlines. How the hell did we know that? Because they were at a Chick-fil-A in the airport, online, and people were filming them and said, what the hell is this? They're supposed to be playing in Miami on national television tonight. Drove former Commissioner David Stern crazy, God rest his soul. This is what they did. You got cats sitting out games. They'll blame the team, which sometimes is true. They'll blame the coach or the strength and conditioning coach or the medical staff, which is true a lot of times than people realize, a lot more time than people realize, but it's also on them. It's also on them. You see Ben Simmons with the shades, with the Cartiers, and looking like Zoolander, with one of his zoot suits on, looking fly, with a smile on his face, knowing he collected 20, 30 million a year when people came to see him play, and he played one game in the last 3 months. Look at these all-stars right here. 27 all-star selections this past 22-23 season. Look at this information. None played in at least 80 games. 8 played between 70 to 79 games. 16 played in at least 65 games, and 11 played in fewer than 65 games. These are all stars. Marquees. Who people get stuck in traffic for and go on public transportation for and spend their hard-earned money on. And you gave them the finger with all of these damn missed games. Can you juxtapose that to former all-stars like Jordan's last year in the league? Do we have that stat? Because, see, it's worth mentioning. Notable Hall of Famers, number of 82-game seasons. I already gave you all of these stats. When you had Jordan and those boys in all-star games, the people that were in all-star games with them barely missed any games. And they weren't making these guys money. Doesn't it always come down to the money? Follow me over here. Doesn't it always come down to the money? Yeah, it does. You know why? Because it's the money that compels some of the players, not most, not all, but some of them, and the teams, and the leagues, not the league itself, but the teams, and the executives and the owners to tell the public, kiss our ass. And the players follow suit. I've had people tell me some dudes didn't want to participate in the slam dunk contest or other events for All-Star Weekend. We ain't getting paid. Why should we do it? We ain't getting paid. I'm sorry, you're making $40 million. Because this player was making $40 million at the time. And his reps was talking about, they ain't paying him. Well, damn, you ain't getting paid enough? When's enough? And why do I seem so pissed about this? It's not just on behalf of the fans. It's not just behalf on the league that's trying to negotiate a new television rights deal. And obviously that's going to elevate the salary cap, which is going to be more money for the players to dig their hands in, and well-deserved, by the way, because when you play, you are the star attractions, you are the product, you deserve the money. But that's not the point of this discussion. You know what the point of this discussion is? Particularly when we talk about new media. You forget that it's the old media that enabled you to get all of this. Who was fighting for the players? Let me give you some names. The late Ralph Wiley, the late Sam Lacey, Michael Wilbon, William C. Rodin, J.A. Adonde, David Aldridge, Mark Spears, Sean Powell. That's just to name a few. And those are just the black dudes. You had white dudes in media. The Mike Lupicas of the world, the Mitch Albums of the world, the Bob Ryans of the world, and others fighting for players to get paid. Jackie McMullins, Christine Brennan's. The list goes on and on. Everywhere you look, there was media members, black, white, male, female, everywhere, fighting on behalf of players. But now that you got your money, we new media. We don't need y'all. Well, guess what? Y'all ain't that much needed either. Because you can talk, but it don't stop me from talking. Nor Will Bond, or any of my contemporaries in this business who got something to say about it. Remember, I'm not talking all. I'm not talking most. LeBron James is a treasure and a tribute. He's earned his stripes. D. Wade did too. He just got his knees messed up. Kobe Bryant definitely did. Michael Jordan definitely did. Kareem definitely did. Worthy and those boys definitely did. Bird and those boys, before he hurt his back, definitely did. But some of these cats out here today walk around like entitled brats, and we see it a mile away. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. Let's move on to the next subject, because we've got something to talk about as it pertains to some of the scoring that has taken place. And obviously, defense appears to have gone by the wayside. You're a good defensive team in this day and age if you're giving up 110 points per game. It don't make no damn sense. Joel Embiid just had 70 the other night. Luka Doncic had 73. Atlanta, it was like a bunch of people went out to Magic City and forgot to show up to the game the next day. Somebody got to say it, so I'm going to say it. And Lou Williams, former Sixth Man of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, he actually told the truth. There are some delicious wings at Magic City. It is true, I have to confess. Yes, I have been there for many years ago, long time ago. But the point is, I've tasted the wings. Lemon pepper Lou is not an exaggeration. It's not fable. It's not. It's really true. Those wings are delicious. Having said all of that, the point is, you ain't supposed to show up on the court as a team the next day acting like you were there. Whether you were there or not, acting like you were there, playing like you were there. That's what they did against Luka Doncic, the Atlanta Hawks. It was embarrassing to watch the easy, uncontested layups he was making. It was a sham. Cat Williams is a different animal because you scored 62, 58 through three quarters. Okay, Karl Anthony Towns, I apologize. Karl Anthony Towns, I don't know what the hell I said Cat Williams for. See, that's on my mind. Sorry, Club Shay Shay. Here's the deal. Karl Anthony Towns. This dude dropped 62 in a game, 58 in three quarters, shoot 2 of 10 in the fourth quarter, and gives up an 18-point lead to the Charlotte Hornets, one of the worst teams in the league, and loses the game, which is why they got called out by their coach Chris Finch, and they deserved it. But he was balling, but he was in a contest. And then he prioritized, and his team prioritized him scoring 60 as opposed to trying to win the damn game, and they embarrassed themselves. Fair enough. Joel Embiid, Greg Popovich decided to put Victor Wembanyama, who's in line for Rookie of the Year, but the brother is outweighed by Embiid by 70 pounds, and that's who you decide to put on Embiid without double coverage. I don't know what the hell that was about. The point of the matter is we see a lot of stuff going on there. Highest of the highs, NBA high scorers this season. Luka Doncic at 70, Embiid at 70. Luka Doncic at 73, Giannis Antetokounmpo against the Pacers at 64, which was necessary because, damn it, he's lost to them about 4 to 5 times. He's gone against them this year. Devin Booker dropping 62, but that was in a loss against the Pacers. They said, okay, we can't stop you. You're going to get yours, but we still going to beat y'all because the rest of your team ain't going to show up because they're busy spectating, watch you. And, of course, Karl Anthony Towns, what I brought up. The problem is these are not the fault of the players. The league is too damn soft. The rules favor offensive-minded players and teams. You touch somebody, it's a foul. You can get teed up for having bad breath. Don't, Lord help you if you pass gas. It don't make no damn sense. So when you got those kind of impediments getting in the way of your defensive prowess, you're going to be compromised. It's just that simple. It's not good. We don't like it, but it is what it is. And they're going to have to find a way to deal with it somehow, some way. I've seen some amazing performances in my time while covering the NBA. Kobe's 81 points against the Raptors, Jordan's 69 against the Cavaliers. I mean, I've seen some stuff. But the scoring output that has transpired this year in the NBA is unprecedented, and I don't know if that's a good thing at all. They say that the fans like offense. They say that the fans like excitement. That is absolutely true. But doesn't the All-Star Weekend teach us something? 4 players in 1 week top 60 points. 2 of them top 70. All-Star Weekend, how attractive is that for us at this particular moment in time where you see a damn exhibition? The greatest All-Star Weekend in years were years ago, just a few years ago, when they would compete and all get out in the fourth quarter. You got to figure out a way to make it more competitive. I understand people like offense, but they like competition more than anything else. We have to remember that. Last item I wanted to get into was involving Jason Kidd, head coach for the Dallas Mavericks, Hall of Famer, one of the greatest point guards in NBA history, champion with the Dallas Mavericks, 2 NBA Finals trips with the New Jersey Nets when they were playing in East Rutherford, New Jersey before they moved to Brooklyn, when he had Kenyon Martin and Richard Jefferson as his teammates, okay, with Lawrence Frank as his coach. Let me say this to you about Dallas Mavericks coach Jason Kidd, because he raised eyebrows recently when he said that the star that just finished scoring 73 points for him, Luka Doncic, is not only better than former Maverick great Dirk Nowitzki, but also in the realm of Michael Jordan. Listen to this quote. Luka Doncic is better than Dirk Nowitzki. He's in the atmosphere of MJ, the best to ever do it. LeBron, Kobe. And so just to appreciate what this young man's doing at the age of 24, it is something that Dallas has never seen. I've said this internally. He is better than Dirk. He does things that Dirk could never do. And now's the opportunity of getting the right people around him to ultimately win a championship. I get where Jason Kidd is coming from. Luka Doncic is a better offensive player than Dirk Nowitzki. He's not 7 feet like Dirk Nowitzki is with an unblockable shot that he's shooting from the back of his head. Okay? He's not the sniper that Dirk Nowitzki was, even though sometimes he resembles one because Luka could get going from the outside from time to time. But as an offensive player at a legitimate 6'7" or so, with the body that he has available to him, Luka Doncic is special. He can score from anywhere. He can score in the post. He can score from the outside. He's got a handle. He can create his own shot. He can spot up and shoot. He can post you. He can take it to the hole. He can play with his back to the basket. He can play facing the basket. It doesn't matter. So, yes, that's true. But let me tell you the difference. Jason Kidd knows this. Luka Doncic is a better overall offensive talent. But the difference between him and Dirk Nowitzki is that Luka Doncic has folks around spectating, watching his greatness. Dirk Nowitzki got dudes to play with him, which is why he's a champion, and Luka's still trying to become one. Because I got news for you. Jason Kidd was beyond his prime when he was the point guard helping Dallas win the championship. Jason Terry was close to that as well. You saw some of the other pieces that they had in place. It wasn't an all-star caliber crew surrounding Dirk Nowitzki, but the personnel fit. And most importantly, they wanted to play with him as opposed to spectate and watch him and be deferential because they knew he had to have the ball in his hands. Dirk Nowitzki wasn't holding the ball for 12 to 15 seconds the way Luka does. So as a talent, Jason Kidd is right. As a championship component, it remains to be seen. So he's not wrong, but he's not right. It's certainly debatable, but it's not finite the way Jason Kidd tried to make it so. And before I mention anybody in the same breath as LeBron, Kobe, or Michael Jordan himself, I got to see at least one chip. At least one. That's all I got to say about that. We need to go to break, but when I return, I speak to NBA champion Rasheed Wallace on the state of the NBA and the hiring of Doc Rivers as the new head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. The Stephen A. Smith Show over the digital airwaves of YouTube. Back with more in a minute. It's that time of year again. The Super Bowl has arrived, and Prize Picks has got you covered. That's right. With the big game finally here, Prize Picks is going to help you cash in. Prize Picks is a daily fantasy app where you can select 2 or more of your favorite players and then pick more or less on their projected stats. Best part is, Prize Picks has something for every sports fan, from the NBA and NFL to League of Legends and everything in between. You can pick LeBron, Mahomes, Caitlin Clark, Connor McDavid, and Messi, of course, all in the same entry. I make my picks and submit early, all in less than 60 seconds. And get this, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. That's right. Go to prizepicks.com and use code SAS, that's my initials, of course, for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's code SAS when you go to prizepicks.com. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show. With me today is a man who spent 16 seasons in the NBA. He was a 2-time All-Star, won a championship in 2004 with the Detroit Pistons, and now hosts his own podcast called The Sheed and Tyler Show. Can't wait to talk to my brother. It's been a while, big time. What's going on, Rasheed Wallace? How you doing, man?
What it do, beloved? Same on this end. You know me.
Now, you've been a basketball player, NBA, started at the University of North Carolina. You know, we've been boys for so many years with your Philly roots, with me writing for the Philadelphia Inquirer for so many years. We'll get into all of that for a second, along with your comments about Doc Rivers, you know, watching Tyrese Halliburton running his mouth, saying what he's saying. But a lot of people don't realize you are a Kansas City Chiefs fan. You've been a Kansas City Chiefs fan for years. How the hell that happened when you grew up in Philadelphia?
Man, it was a personal issue. You know, my mom had the only TV in the room when I was growing up. So back when kids programs used to come on Sunday mornings, you know, I wanted to watch my programs, and so she wanted me. She's like, "Hey, turn the channel." So I had to turn that knob and turn to the, you know, the pregame football show. So I was sitting there with an attitude and everything like that. And you know, I would always cheer for. Once I seen they was cheering for the Eagles, I was always cheering for the other team, and then it just grew
So
into
you did it to spite your mama.
A love-hate relationship.
You did it to spite your mama. That's what you did. You said, I'm mad at mama, so I'm going to do the opposite of what she wants to happen just to spite Mama Wallace. That's what you telling me.
Oh, yeah, I was hot, man. I was hot. I wanted to watch my programs, dog, you know what I mean? And she wanted to turn to some damn Eagles game. I wasn't into football then. You know, my only sport was track and field, so I didn't like football back then, so I didn't want to watch that.
So you did it to spite your mama. Now, I knew Mama Wallace all them years you was in the NBA when she used to be at those games. Mama Wallace don't play. She didn't whip your ass. She didn't whip your ass for room for those Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, no, she didn't actually. You know, she switched her teams up as she got older. You know, she was an Eagles fan, and then, you know, somehow before she passed, she was like, "Oh, I'm a Steelers fan." I'm like, "Mom, when you become a Steelers fan? When they was winning them championships back a couple years ago,
right.
Like, come on, Mom." So
I'm looking at the Kansas City Chiefs right now, and listen, I was rooting for Lamar Jackson. I ain't gonna lie, I love Patrick Mahomes, but he already got 2 chips. You know what? I think he's about to get a 3rd or whatever. I was rooting for Lamar Jackson. I thought Lamar Jackson was gonna give it to him. Were you fearful at all that was gonna happen to your Kansas City Chiefs? Were you worried?
What was I? I mean, damn, he's only the MVP of the league. Who wouldn't be worried?
Right.
Shit, I was worried every down, especially when he scrambled, I think, for like 21 yards, 22 yards one time. I was like, oh, good Lord, please don't let this man go. Hey, let's put a spy on him. We got to put a spy on him, please.
Right.
Can't let this man get off.
So how do you think about San Francisco and what kind of matchup they're going to create for Kansas City, considering the fact that Kansas City went to Baltimore and beat the #1 seed, the #1 team? I mean, how do you think they're going to do against San Francisco?
Well, in my opinion, of course, I think Baltimore had the better quarterback, but I think San Francisco has the better running back. You can't ignore what Christian McCaffrey's been doing, not only this season, but the few years he was in Carolina, bar injury.
Right.
And so he's a great back. You know, he's almost an every down back. He's a scat back. He can run in the flat. You could put him out there in the slot. He could go against your linebackers in the slot. So I think he's an all-around back. I give him like a Marshall Faulk status.
Okay, all right. Let me transition to some basketball stuff. And I'm going to get into these players and complaining about the new rules that strip them of having an opportunity to win awards because they don't play at least 65 games. I'll get to that in a second. But you made news recently because you were talking about your old coach, Doc Rivers. Now, damn it, you went to the finals with him in a Game 7 in one season. You played for the man, okay? You lost in the conference finals against him when you were in Detroit. What's the deal with Doc Rivers and saying he's not that great of a coach and he's not going to win in Milwaukee? What's going on with that, Rasheed?
Well, first of all, it's only one Doc in the NBA, and his name is Julius Erving.
Okay.
This one is Glenn Rivers. So let's get that straight, coming from Philly.
Oh, Lord.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
But
Go ahead.
But no, I mean, I did play for 1 year under Glenn when I was in Boston. But I don't think it really wasn't him back then. It was, Tibbs had defense and Kev had offense.
Kevin Eastman.
So,
Kevin Eastman was your assistant coach that handled offense. Tom Thibodeau handled defense. Yes, go ahead.
Exactly. And so, Doc, he was more of a quote unquote, I would say, a locker room manager. Now, every coach has to be a locker room manager at some point, right? But and I give him that. But in my opinion, as far as with the X's and O's, that one with Tibbs and Cash, because if you look at it from the outside looking in, before I got there, we all heard that Ray, KG, Rondo, Perk, that they didn't get along and all this other shit and this and that. So you always heard from the outside looking in. But once I got there, I'm watching, I'm observing, I keep my mouth shut. I'm new to the organization, so I don't know the ins and outs. And I just watch things. And there's a lot of guys that came and go that really, really didn't respect Doc as far as the way that he did things, the way that he coached. So only thing I can do is just sit back and watch. But I will say this, coming from me, from my part, I will say this, that the man lied to me, though, because that was one of the main reasons that I signed with Boston that year was, of course, to play with those other players.
Right.
But from something that he told me that I definitely would get more time than what I got, right? So I'm like, okay, I understand the time thing. It might not have went the way that it went, but this is the part that I really didn't like. So when I was married at the time when I was playing in Boston. So after the game, we all get that check-in call, hey, babe, before we get on the plane, hey, babe, how you doing? But it's like, she's like, oh, good game. Sorry, y'all lost, this and that, da-da-da-da-da. But she was like, babe, I don't like your coach. I'm like, wow, what's up? He be talking shit about you. And I was like, huh? She's like, yeah, he talking about you be shooting too many threes and you don't want to post up and do this and that. I said, what? I said, he really said that? I said, okay. I said, but that's not what he was saying in the meetings, though. Mm-hmm. In the meetings, he was saying that, of course, Ray Allen, of course, Paul, of course, Eddie House.
Right.
Those three guys.
No question.
Shooting cats right there.
No question.
And then, he with me being a shooting big, he put me in there. He was like, look, these guys got the green light to shoot the three. You know what I'm saying? If they have it. Everybody else, y'all fall back, this and that. So I'm like, okay. So the way it was back then, now, a lot of guys don't know what I'm talking about when I'm about to say lifted. So when you have, let's say you have a lot of the action of the play going on the left side of the floor, right? So now you have either your center or the guys that's not really involved with the play lifted on the right wing, right? Because they could back then, you couldn't play zone, this and that. So
zones weren't allowed back then.
Yeah, I'm lifted. Or I might be in deep corner. Okay, so by the time the ball get to me, it's only maybe a couple seconds left on the play, or I'm open. I'm gonna take the shot. Boom, take the shot. Doc didn't run no post up plays for me. The one who did was Rondo. Rondo called some of them plays out there himself. He's a floor general. I definitely got to give him that. And I had a whole new respect of him once I played with him. But It was him who was pretty much calling a lot of the post-up plays for the bigs because he saw different weaknesses and this and that out there. But yeah, man. In my opinion, I didn't like that.
I get where you coming from, but here's my pushback on that, Raj. We got coaches. First of all these coaches depend on their assistant coaches. Don't you? I've never seen anything in my life compared to how it is over the last decade or so. You got 4 or 5 different damn assistant coaches. Y'all huddling with one another for a full damn minute during timeouts while the players going over there drinking their water, getting their rest, huddling, listening to one idea after another, and then you pick the best one and you come to your players with it. It's called delegating responsibility. You hear what they have to say, and then you come and you give it to the player. So we know that's a fact. And in terms of talking shit about you, I mean, what coach don't talk? I covered Larry Brown. I mean, you're making me laugh. I covered Larry Brown. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you're sitting there 1 minute, literally going to the press conference. I mean, I got the greatest player in the world. I mean, he's phenomenal. He's fantastic. I look at this team right here. You played for him in Detroit. Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton. I saw Rip Hamilton losing against Larry Brown. Larry Brown just finished saying about him the first 24 hours earlier. He's maybe the best shooting guard in the game. And then the next thing you know, the next game, what the hell is this guy doing? I don't even know if he should be on this team. You've seen stuff like this. So why be ultra sensitive to that, Rasheed?
It's not a matter of being ultra sensitive. It's just a matter of being human. Yo,
okay.
If I'm not now with my thing, I'm not going to do nothing out there on the floor. If it's my teammate or the coach, I ain't going to do nothing out there on the floor to cause more ruckus. We're going to handle this shit back in the locker room.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? No matter if you got something to say to me or I got something to say to you. But my thing is, all it is a simple apology. Because it's like, all right, all right, I'll tell you a perfect one, for instance. Here it is. You know, it's going against one of them cheating-ass refs, right?
Okay.
And I felt as though it wasn't a call. And so, you know, Doc came, you know, he subbed me out. I didn't mind the sub. It was cool. But as I'm going to the bench, you know, I'm saying to the ref, I'm like, you know, I'm like, yeah, you know, with some bullshit or this or that, whatever I said. And so Glenn's going to look at me and say, oh, man, just go to the sideline. Yeah. I'm like, hold up, Doc. First of all, you're supposed to be on my side. Don't patronize me when I'm sitting up here cussing another motherfucker out if I think that he might have did or said something wrong.
Right.
I said, hold up, don't patronize me with that shit. Don't sit up here, especially out there on the floor in front of everybody too. Nah, I'm not for that. That's for one of these young boys right there. Right. I'm a vet up in this league at the time. So, no, that's not for me. But, yeah, I would have been in the wrong if I would have got face-to-face with him on that sideline and cussed him out right there, right?
That's true. But here's the flip side. Rasheed Wallace, I don't want to hear that veteran shit. You'd have cussed his ass out if you were a rookie. You know that. If they step to you or anybody step to you wrong, you ain't gonna tolerate but so much. We talking about Rasheed Wallace. You're talking to Stephen A. I've known you for damn near 30 years. What you talking about? There's no way on earth that somebody, I don't give a damn when you were 18, when you were 21, you're 25, 28, 30. You have always been consistent. There is a line you will not cross with Rasheed Wallace or else. So, I mean, come on now. It ain't about being...
I mean, but no, it's about simplicity, though. Okay. I mean, with simple shit, all you got to do is apologize with shit. But it's not just with me. Right. You know, I've seen different shit in that locker room to the point which makes me say what I said about him. Right.
Now, you do know that when it comes to...
You know, it's other players you can ask as well. You know, he has some other all-stars. Yeah. You can talk to Ray. You can talk to Marquise Daniels, Eddie House. You know, you can talk to
I have, but I also heard from KG. You also hear from Big Perk. They rave about him now.
Yeah, because I rave about the motherfucker, too, if you want me and shit.
So listen. Oh, now you just said it. He won you a chip. Well, when he won a chip in 08, before you got there, Thibodeau was there then, Eastman was there then, but the coach obviously was the coach. So Doc Rivers got that chip, went to 2 finals in 3 years, never lost a series when his starting 5 was healthy during that time, Raj. I mean, we got to give him some love.
Hey, give him some love with what? Because after that 2008 year, they didn't win another one, number one. Okay. And how many times has it been a 3-1 lead? You've had a 3-1 lead with
4 times.
Different teams.
4 times.
4
and
times.
Lost 3 3-1 leads.
Yeah, and blew them all. Come on, you can't. That's not no good coach right there to me.
All right. But now,
You know what I'm saying? And you can.
You do know the great Larry Brown, because I know how you felt about Larry Brown now in terms of his coaching ability. You know he only got one title, right? And we all know how great LB was. We know LB forgot more basketball than most people know. He only got one title.
True that. Yeah, he only got one, but LB is a whole different category. That's you talking about somebody who's in a Hall of Fame. That man has done one thing that I don't think either no other coach has done. And that's one NCAA title and an NBA title as a coach.
That's right.
You know, we have some players who have done that. You know what I'm saying? Rip is one of the few who won an NCAA title and an NBA chip as a player. But Coach Brown, he's done that as a coach.
All right.
There ain't no comparison.
So when it comes to Glenn Doc Rivers, last question, is it fair to classify your assertions about him as that it ain't just about coaching? You don't like his ass because of some things that he may have done or how he may have acted towards you. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair to say. Plus, it's fair to say I don't like how they fucked up my Sixers neither.
What you talking about?
Yeah, with my Sixers. Yeah, he fucked my Sixers up.
Really? So you blaming Doc? Hold on, wait a minute. You're blaming Doc. Hold on. Let me ask a question. This your boy. This your boy talking to you. This your boy talking to you, Rasheed. Don't let me get Tariq and the crew on you. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute now. Don't let me get your cousins on you, right? Here's the deal. Are you trying to tell me you're blaming Doc Rivers more than James Harden?
50-50. I wanted both of them motherfuckers going out of Philly. And I'm thankful that both of them going. There's one more I want going too, but I know he's not going nowhere. He just signed an extension. But no, I wanted both of them motherfuckers out of Philly because Harden to me is not a team player. Yeah, he gets buckets, but he's not a team player. And with the way that Glenn was, it was a fiasco. I mean, come on, dog. 3-1. Somehow, someway, you got to pull something out your ass as that coach. This time, it's not going to happen to me this time. I'm going to make sure I do. I'm going to send somebody in there, flagrant foul somebody. I'm going to do something to make sure I win this damn series up now when I'm up 3-1.
I am a fair-minded individual. I have to concede Doc Rivers did lose a 3-1 lead 3 times, and he has lost 5 consecutive Game 7s. So the pressure is on him. Make no mistake about it, okay? Ain't absolving it from that. You talked about Doc Rivers. You talked about James Harden. You said there's a third dude that you wanted gone. Who that dude?
Oh, now I don't know. Is he the GM or is he
Daryl Morey?
assistant GM or
Daryl Morey?
Yeah.
Well, Daryl
Morey.
Daryl Morey did just hire Nick Nurse. That seems to have been a good hire. James Harden is up out of there. Tyrese Maxey got the ball. What's wrong with that?
But he needed to be up out of here too because look at the fiasco he did down there in Houston by bringing James Harden here, then coming with that BS contract. Now we don't know if what James Harden was saying was true, if Morey lied to him or not, or this or that. We don't know. I wasn't there. I can't talk about that deal with him. But I'm just talking about with my team. I'm a Sixers fan. I love my Sixers. And yes, when Glenn was our coach, I couldn't cheer for us. So when we had Harden, I couldn't cheer for us. Now it's a whole new different team. It's a whole, and we don't win shit this year, then me and Embiid going to have to go at it because it's
the brother been playing lights out. He just can't stay healthy, but the brother been giving it to them.
I know.
They've been getting averaging 35, Rasheed. You can't point the finger at him.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We riding on him, but if he can't play, that's what I'm saying. I'm ready to fight him because you got the whole city on you, dog. And you're right, Stephen A. This man has been killing. He's showing why he was the MVP.
That's right.
He's been killing in the beginning of the season. You know what I'm saying? But I just want him, and it's going to be a thing. And I knew that with Nick Nurse, the way that he coaches his guys, with empathy, and he goes out there like, hey, look, I need y'all to do this, need y'all to do that. It's self-sufficient with some of the players that he had and talking with some of the guys that he had in Toronto.
Okay.
So I knew that he was going to come in here more defensive-minded than our previous coaches. Mm-hmm. And that's the main thing. We got one of the biggest motherfuckers in the league right there. Keep his ass right there near them blocks. I don't need to see Embiid going out there with the hesitation crossover and step back threes trying to be like KD or Bron or any of them. No, Embiid. Be that fucking unstoppable monster down there on them blocks. Who gonna stop him?
I said this morning on national television, a healthy Embiid or Jokic, I'm still going with Embiid if healthy. I'd go with Jokic because of durability, availability, etc. But in terms of skills, I think Embiid is the truth. I don't understand anybody that will look at his talent and want another big man. I mean, it got to be Shaq in his dominant years. Okay, somebody like that. I don't listen. Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental. I don't even know if I want Embiid more than Embiid. That's how I feel about Embiid. He is that kind of a superstar as far as I'm concerned. Having said all of that, Boston, Milwaukee. I ain't even ask you about Milwaukee because I know what you think about Milwaukee already. You already said it. I already know it. I already know it. Even though Dame Time is there with Giannis, because of Glenn Doc Rivers, you ain't giving them no love. So that leaves Boston.
No, they get love.
All right,
they
all
get
right.
because
Boston, Philly,
beforehand.
Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, Miami, and the New York Knicks. Give it to me.
All right. I'll start with the Knicks. The Knicks are playing pretty good. I like how J.J. Brunson, he's coming in there and he's doing his thing. He's trying to establish
since January 1st. They're 14-2, the best record in basketball. Keep going.
Yeah. And he's establishing that he's one of the better point guards in the league, and he's doing it with non-all-star talent. You know, of course, Jay Randall made the All-Star 1 or 2 times in his career, but I'm saying look at the rest of the roster, though.
Okay.
So I got to tip my hat with him with that. Miami, for me, in my opinion, all they need is a true center. Like I love Bam. That's my guy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
He's really a power forward.
He's not a center.
Right.
He's a power forward, yeah.
Right.
So you got him going against the Embiid, the Jokers, the Rudy Goberts. You got him going against the guys who got him by at least 4 or 5 inches and outweighs him by at least 60 to 80 pounds. So, I mean, that makes a difference at some point in the game.
Right.
But I think Miami, all they need is a big man. You know, their guards are good. They're solid.
What about your former team, Boston? What about them?
Boston, they only got the best home record in the league. I mean, they only lost, one game?
Jason
No more
Tatum,
than
a
2 games
superstar,
at
bro.
home.
Jason Tatum, a superstar.
Oh, for sure. Fact. Jason Tatum is the bona fide superstar, especially on that team. I think Jaylen Brown's a superstar as well. We just got to get him to go left a little bit more.
Yeah.
But, no, they have a pretty good, solid team. And then, you know, that's all anchored by the vet. Which I'm surprised he's still in the league because he is a vet. Al Horford. Yeah. You know, I'm Al Horford holding that shit down for them cats in that middle. Granted, he's not a big man, but he has that
So I got Boston coming out of the East. I got Boston coming out of the East. Who you got?
I got my Sixers.
Really?
Really.
Who's the third wheel? You got Embiid, you got Maxey. Who's the third wheel? Because I need Tobias Harris to step up and be more aggressive. He got the game. He doesn't have the aggression. That's my issue with Tobias Harris.
Hey, I love Tobias too, and he's been a roller coaster with me up in Philly. He's one of our better perimeter defenders. I like the things that he does. But yeah, I'm with you. He has to step up night in, night out, not just every other 8 or 9 games. It got to be night in, night out, especially if you got the young fella Maxey going hard, and you know that Embiid, you know, he's not going to be able to play every night. So, I got to make sure that I'm consistent with my.
You brought up James Harden. He plays on the Clippers. Clippers been balling. I think the Clippers could come out the West and end up in the finals. What about you?
That's going to be tough. I don't know. The Clippers, they got the perimeter play. You know, they got the guards with West, and they got Jay Harden, they got Paul, they got
Powell and Westbrook coming off the bench. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I'm saying they got their consistent scoring right there, but you got to have some interior scoring though. You got to who they going to stop if they match up against Denver? Who's going to guard Aaron Gordon? Who's going to guard Joker? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they could. They got the talent to come out that West. You know, they got the guard play to come out that West, but they're going to need some interior scoring.
I think they can force Denver to
off night.
I think they can force Denver to go a little bit smaller because you can't keep up with them thoroughbreds if you stay big. That's my belief. You see what I'm saying? That's how I'm thinking. That might be a strategy you got to employ. Just the thought process. Let me transition to this dude, Tyrese Halliburton. He was my pick for point guard, starting point guard for the All-Star game, because even though Brunson is that dude, got love for him, and I'm a diehard New York Knicks fan and a native New Yorker, at the end of the day, Tyrese Halliburton, league leader in assists, averaging 24 a game, #1 offense in the NBA, and on top of it all, they're a top 5, 6 seed in the Eastern Conference. New York Knicks was top 4 last year. They top 4 now. I'm looking at that. But that's not why I want to ask you about Tyrese Halliburton. I want you to take a look at what Tyrese Halliburton had to say when we were talking about him, when he was talking about this stupid rule, because he was saying that to be a league MVP, be an all-star, to be all of these different things, win these awards, you know, 6th man of the year, rookie of the year, defensive player of the year, all of this other stuff. The rules, 65 games, at least 20 minutes. He says, quote, I think it's a stupid rule, like plenty of the guys in the league, but this is what the owners want. So as players, we got to do our job and play in 65 games if we're able to. So that's what I got to do, take care of my body to be able to play in those games. And I think you're seeing other players in the league kind of face the same thing, as long as the owners are happy. I went off on television this morning, and I aired it a little bit earlier, where I was like, I don't want to hear that nonsense. It ain't about the owners. It's about the fact that you have players that set the stage and paved the way for you. The MJs, the Kobes, and so many people in between. John Stockton, Karl Malone, Gary Payton, list goes on and on. Cats playing 82 games, cats playing 78 games, 75 games. You got a whole bunch of cats, whether it's Kawhi, it's Kyrie, and others, Bradley Beal, Anthony Davis before this season, missing a whole bunch of games. And you have cats that literally, they ain't injured, not those individuals, but people who haven't been injured, Rasheed. Instead, they're playing because they don't want to get hurt down the road. I think they brought this on themselves. What do you say to that?
Well, he pretty much said the own answer in his statement. You know, they want us to play 65 games. Shit, you should be doing that anyway. You should do that for the love of the game anyway. I want to play every game. I want to be in there every game. That's for the love of the game. I don't say it a lot, but I'm with the owners on this one. Like, cause me personally, I think is robbing the fans. Cause if I'm sitting up there, I'm working, and I got that fan package, and I got a ticket for me, my wife, my 2 kids, and we come in the game, and I already spent about $1,200, and I'm coming to see you, and you decide that night that's when you want to do your load management and you don't want to play. I'm like, what the fuck, dog? No, you got to be out there. And the way that we did it, because we did load management too, but ours was different. It was like,
How?
okay, because that coach, trainer, and player is like, okay, he kind of hurting, but we could rest him a little bit. But hey, let's make sure he's still getting to the groove of things. We're gonna play him like 5 minutes in the first quarter and 5 minutes in the third quarter, and the rest of that is gonna be the young boys. We don't need to play them tonight. It's a garbage team. We don't want to risk them getting hurt, but we're gonna play those first few minutes. Why? Because now the fans can take their pictures and be like, oh, I seen him. Yeah, he did this move and he did that move. Instead of, oh, yeah, he was on the bench and he was drippy and he had all the ice and chains on. He was over there eating and drinking and he was just up at halftime laughing and looking at everybody.
Or you like that damn Ben Simmons. Or you like that damn Ben Simmons looking like Zoolander, the male model. You understand? The shades and the outfits on and all that damn stuff. You like one of those. It pissed me off.
Oh, man, it pisses me off, too, because now, on the flip side of it, okay, you still want your money, though, right?
That's right.
You still want to sit up here and get paid, those certain amounts of money, but it's a mixture of, to me, this whole AAU culture with a lot of these kids who are privileged, they get shit thrown at them. It's a mixture of that because you have a lot of them in the league now.
Right.
You have a mixture of that along with the owners is tired of cashing out all this bread and these cats ain't playing.
Right.
I get it. I'm with them. I get it because I don't want to tune in. Now, granted, don't get me wrong. It's no disrespect to the other players who aren't like the big names in the league, but I'm not tuning in to see second, third, and fourth string. No, I'm not tuning in to see this dude.
You damn sure ain't going to the arena to watch it. You damn sure ain't going to the arena to watch it.
And that's my thing. But I ain't got no choice now because I already spent $1,400 on this fan package and the limo and all that shit for my family to get there. yeah, I ain't got no choice but to go now, but I'm disappointed because I don't get a chance to see that megastar, that superstar, that all-star. And I'll be mad as shit.
Last question before I let you get on out of here. Is it fair to label that rule or this issue the Popovich rule? Is Greg Popovich the cause of all of this because of how he allowed load management with his San Antonio Spurs players? Remember that time they were at the Orlando airport at Chick-fil-A waiting for Southwest Airlines the night they had a nationally televised game against Miami when Commissioner David Stern was alive and he was the commissioner? Remember all of that? I'm wondering, what level of culpability do you believe a coach like San Antonio Spurs coach Greg Popovich has in all of this?
Man, that was a whole different thing. I think that was a whole different reason why he did it. Yeah. Because you got to look at it. They were on the road for like two and a half weeks because in San Antonio, you know, they got the rodeo, which is a popular event down there at their arena on the fairgrounds. So it's like, shit, that's mad money for the city coming in. And granted, yeah, we understand they the Spurs and this and that, but that's the city, the state coming in there. So they on the road for them 2 weeks. So no, out of them 2 weeks, I might play 3 good teams. So, yeah, I'm going to need Tim Duncan. I'm going to need David Robinson. I'm going to need Ginobili, Parker. I'm going to need all my guys.
But he said he sent Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker home, and they were playing LeBron in Miami that night. He played Orlando the night before and took off the night of the nationally televised Miami game with LeBron and D-Wade in them.
That could have been out of spite. That could have been something that Pop and the commissioner had.
The spite.
That could have been something with that. But I know from the player standpoint, to me, it makes sense. I'm not going to sit up here and have my star players play against, and at the time, you know, they weren't a good team, in my opinion, against the Orlando Magic or against, you know, no, I'm gonna try to sit them down. But that could have been something with Pop and David Stern. I don't know.
I got you. I'm gonna let you get on out of here, man. I appreciate the time, appreciate the basketball expertise. I'm gonna definitely have you on again as the season wanes, particularly when the playoffs arrive, because your ass as a basketball analyst is hilarious. So I got to have you back on. But by the way, on this show, we call him Doc Rivers, man. It ain't gonna be Glenn. It's gonna be Doc Rivers.
His mom didn't name him Doc. His mom named him Glenn.
Oh Lord. So now then we go to Mama route. Now we go to Mama route. We gonna lean on what Mama said. That's what we gonna do. Oh damn. Get out of here, man. Love you, bro. I'll talk to you later.
Love you too.
All right, man.
All right.
Okay, everybody, you know what time it is. It's time for Stephen A's Weekly Picks. I've teamed up with PrizePicks to bring you my favorite sports picks each and every week. You see, PrizePicks is a skill-based, real money daily fantasy sports game where you select 2 or more players and predict if they will have more or less than their stat projections for the game. But the part that I really love, it's not just about football. You can play across any sport you love. That's basketball, that's soccer, that's even MMA. And if you go to prizepicks.com right now and use promo code SAS, you'll receive a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. You heard me. Right now, go to prizepicks.com. Type in my initials, SAS, for a first-time deposit match up to $100. Today, however, I'm not selecting a sport. Sunday is the Grammy Awards. And Taylor Swift is nominated for 6 of them. Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Pop Vocal Album, Best Pop Solo Performance, and Best Pop Duo/Group Performance. So I've decided to pick whether or not Taylor Swift will more or less than 3.5 Grammy Awards. Win more or less than 3.5 Grammy Awards, okay? Needless to say, I'm going with more. Taylor Swift will win more than 3.5 Grammys this Sunday. You heard it here first. You talking to the boy that went to the Eras Tour at SoFi Stadium in LA. And I'm not trying to sound like a civil rights activist or whatever, but I saw little black girls, a little white girls, a little Asian girls, and little Hispanic girls everywhere crying their hearts out, knowing every lyric of every song in between standing ovations between every song. One time they even gave her a 9-minute standing ovation. A 9-minute standing ovation in between songs. That sounds like more than 3.5 Grammys to me. Going more. She gonna win. At least 4 Grammys this weekend. You heard it here first. But before I go any further, let's go by the categories. Let's look at the categories right now. Put it up on the board, please. Show this audience that. Right? Look at what we got right here. Taylor Swift, 2024 Grammy nominations. We see it Sunday night on CBS Paramount Plus. Check this out. Record of the Year, Anti-Hero. Album of the Year, Midnight. Song of the Year, Anti-Hero. Best Pop Solo Performance, Anti-Hero. Best Pop Culture / Group Performance, Karma, featuring Ice Spice. That's where she brought up Travis Kelce, by the way. Think I didn't know that, didn't you? Now you know. And of course, Best Pop Vocal Album, Midnight, okay? So we see what these categories are, right? We see what, let's check out who her competition is. Can we get that per category? I want to show the world this. I want to show the world what Taylor Swift is up against, okay? Because if it ain't Beyonce, I'm betting on Taylor Swift. Now, I ain't gonna bet on anybody more than Beyonce. But outside of Beyonce, I'm gonna go with Taylor Swift. Look at this, Record of the Year nominees. Worship, John Batiste. Not Strong Enough, Boy Genius. Flowers, Miley Cyrus. I haven't got over how wild she's gotten. I'm a daddy with 2 daughters. I like Miley Cyrus, but she's got a little bit wild. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about that. Anyway, I digress. On My Mama, I'm sorry, Victoria Monet, Vampire, Olivia Rodrigo, and of course, Taylor Swift, Anti-Hero, and Kill Bill, SZA. That's one category. She gonna win. I think she's gonna win this category right here, Record of the Year, Anti-Hero, okay? That's what I do. Let's go to another category, please. Throw it up on the boards all over the place. We've got them here, right here in studio, right? Look at this one right here. Lord, follow me over here, y'all. Look at this right here. Best Pop Duo / Group Performance nominees, okay? 1,000 Miles, Miley Cyrus and Brandi Carlile. Candy Necklace, Lana Del Rey featuring John Batiste. Labyrinth featuring Billie Eilish, Never Felt So Alone. That might have a chance there. I'll be worried about Taylor Swift with that one. Of course, Karma. Remember, that's where she mentioned Travis Kelce. People are folding. She's going to have NFL fans root for her now because she's making more money for them. You understand what I'm saying? They talked about how the NFL and the Kansas City Chiefs have generated over $330 million in revenue just because she's showing up to the games and she's chilling with Travis Kelce. You think they ain't going to vote? Yeah, they gonna vote. Yeah, hell yeah, she got a chance to do this. And of course, Ghost in the Machine. I'm looking at all this. Look at Travis Kelce at the concert. That's when he flew all the way to Germany. That brother flew all the way to Germany for that girl. Let me give y'all a little education about men. Don't matter whether you're black, white, or in between. We all brothers from another mother at the end of the day. Let me tell you something right now. You a brother that flies to Germany to see a woman? Well, let's just say you got big nostrils. How about that? Let's leave it at that. But she do too, because she invited you. All right? It's love. Love's in the air. We gonna roll with that, okay? So that's just another category. Let's look at this other category right here too. Best Pop Solo Performance nominees, all right? Flowers, Miley Cyrus, Painting the Town Red, Doja Cat. Now, you gotta be worried about that. Doja Cat ain't no joke. What Was I Made For? Billie Eilish. Love Billie Eilish. Dress, wardrobe, style, okay, debatable, but girl could throw down, no doubt. Vampire, Olivia Rodrigo, okay? And Anti-Hero, Taylor Swift. I mean, she could lose this category, but she could win it too. Ain't nothing off limits for Taylor Swift other than Beyonce. Nobody is Beyonce. But outside of that, anything's possible, okay? Let's look at the next category, please, here. Give it to me right now. Best Pop Vocal Album nominees. Chemistry, Kelly Clarkson. Can't root against Kelly Clarkson. I've been a guest on her show, you know. She's a very nice lady. But here's what I don't like about her. She made me come on her show after I lost a bet with her and said, she made me say, how about them Cowboys? I couldn't find Kelly Clarkson when they lost this year. But she called me when they won a playoff game against Tampa Bay last year. See, I don't appreciate that, okay? And then she made me do it at the Super Bowl too. She was trolling me. So I could hold it against her, but I love Kelly Clarkson. So I'm gonna say, all right, yeah, she got a chance. Chemistry. Endless Summer Vacation, Miley Cyrus. Guts, Olivia Rodrigo. Subtract, Ed Sheeran, however the hell you pronounce the name. Sheeran, okay, we got that. Or Sheeran. That's my assistant, ladies and gentlemen. She's not supposed to be heard on camera, but you could tell. See how bossy she is? Just emanating through the sound, okay? That's what she does. That's what she does, okay? Her name is Sumatra, by the way. Look her up. Anyway, Midnights, Taylor Swift. All right, Best Pop Vocal Album nominees. I think she's gonna get this one. And there's one more category, if I remember correctly. Record of the year. Now, I don't think she's going to win this because, damn it, her concert sold over 5 billion. When you see those kind of numbers, and you are the show and the noise and the headline, city to city, state to state, country to country, nation to nation, I think they'll give it to you based off of that alone. Worship, John Batiste, Not Strong Enough, Boy Genius, Flowers, Miley Cyrus, What Was I Made For? Billie Eilish, On My Mama, Victoria Monet, Vampire, Olivia Rodrigo, Anti-Hero, Taylor Swift, and Kill Bill, SZA. Now, when I think about Victoria Monet, On My Mama, it gives me cause to pause. But I'll say this. I don't recall any of those names magnifying folks the world over towards their music and their concerts the way Taylor Swift does. If there is one category that I'm absolutely positively sure that she is going to win, it is Record of the Year. That's the way it goes. Taylor Swift gonna win at least 4 Grammys. She gonna win at least 4 Grammys, y'all. I'm telling you that right now. 52 nominations in her career. First and only woman solo artist to win a Grammy for Album of the Year 3 times for solo recordings. 52 nominations, 12-time Grammy Award winner. And by the way, over the last year alone, just generated over $500 million for herself. And in terms of the concerts, generated over $5 billion in revenue for a whole bunch of people outside of herself. That girl winning more than 3 Grammys. I can promise you that. That's what's gonna happen. Those are my prize picks. And the word prize is apropos because my picks are gonna be worth it. You heard. Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show. Once again, I want to thank the one and only Rasheed Wallace for stopping by and sharing his thoughts on all things NBA. Glenn, Doc Rivers, and of course, Tyrese Halliburton's comments, amongst various other things. Now let's switch to a couple of subjects before I go to the tweets and the phone calls to close out the show. The first order of business is the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns have a superstar in their squad named Kevin Durant, a perennial all-star, first ballot future Hall of Famer without question, a 2-time champion, a 2-time NBA Finals MVP. That's the star of their team, even if Devin Booker and Bradley Beal is on it. And the Phoenix Suns will be playing in Brooklyn tonight against the Nets, where Kevin Durant will return to the Barclays Arena for the first time since he departed last season after playing 3.5 years there. All eyes and ears will be on the reception that the Brooklyn crowd shows Durant when he steps onto the court. And all I have to say is he is the one person the Barclays should actually show some love to. Don't get it twisted. Kevin Durant is not perfect, and I get all of that. But he is a superstar. He has never cheated the game. When he is healthy, he plays. He gives it all he has. In his postseason career in Brooklyn, he averaged 32. Do you remember the game in 2021 in the Eastern Conference semifinals in Game 5 against Milwaukee after Kyrie Irving goes down with a twisted ankle the game before, and they can't afford to lose that game? What does Kevin Durant do? Without Kyrie Irving, without the injured James Harden at the time as well, who had arrived on the team, Kevin Durant dropped 49, 17, and 10 in that Game 5. I had predicted that morning on my daytime job that he'd have 50, and he missed the free throw in the last minute that negated him from dropping 50 that game. This is Kevin Durant we're talking about. This is KD Trey we're talking about. This is one of the most prolific scorers the game has ever seen, who, by the way, excuse me, chose to go to Brooklyn. Now, I'm a diehard New York Knicks fan all day, every day. And I love Brooklyn, I love the boroughs, but it's about the Knicks. It ain't about the Brooklyn Nets. I believe that Kevin Durant goes to the New York Knicks. I don't think he would have ever left. I thought the city would have loved him and held on to him, and he would have never wanted to leave. I think he would have been worth at least $500 million, more than he's already worth. I think he made a mistake going to Brooklyn, but he chose the Brooklyn Nets, and he put the borough of Brooklyn on the map. in a way that no other sports franchise ever could outside of the Brooklyn Dodgers from the 50s. This is who we're talking about here. And Kyrie Irving getting injured or getting into one situation after another that derailed his existence on a court. James Harden being perpetually injured and ultimately wanting out of Brooklyn because he just wasn't happy there and he was always looking to go to Philadelphia where Daryl Morey, his former boss in Houston, was. Kevin Durant still showed up every night and still kept them competitive. Even though him, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving only played 16 games together, 16. And even though Kevin Durant only played in 62% of his games in Brooklyn, you see the numbers. Career with the Nets, 29 points per game on 53% shooting, 7 rebounds, 5.8 assists. And this is after missing the entire 2019-2020 season because of the Achilles tear he suffered in the finals when he was a Golden State Warrior. It's Kevin Durant, y'all. Brooklyn has nothing to complain about when it comes to him. He never cheated you. The star that Kevin Durant is, he was when he was there on the basketball court for you. He should receive nothing but tremendous applause for what he's meant to that franchise. And the fact that he chose the Brooklyn Nets over the New York Knicks, which is clearly a more marketable and a more profitable franchise, shows you what he was about. Love Kevin Durant. Only blemish of him is that he couldn't reel in Kyrie Irving. You depart from Steph Curry to go play with Kyrie Irving. I don't give a damn what Kyrie Irving's got going on in his life. You got to get him on that basketball court with you. Yo, bro, we here to win a chip, ain't we? Ain't we here to win a chip? What you doing? He couldn't do that. That's the blemish against him. But it shouldn't affect the love and affection the borough of Brooklyn feels for him and should be willing to show him tonight when he shows up at the Barclay. Let's move on. Unfortunately, to rapper Kanye West, because he's in the news yet again, in the news, while on his way to the Charlie Wilson Walk of Fame ceremony in Hollywood this week, Kanye West was asked by a reporter from TMZ a question about his wife Bianca's well-being, and it set him off. The reporter, whose name is Melanie, asked, quote, "People want to know if Bianca has her free will. Some people are saying that you're controlling." At that moment, Kanye, obviously not liking it very much, grabbed her cell phone she was recording him on and shoved it in his pocket. Here's a look of what Kanye said and did to that reporter. Take a look.
If Bianca has her free will, some people are saying you're controlling.
She's TMZ. She's TMZ.
Come at me with that shit. Ask me that. You think you can walk up on me like that? What you think? Because you a white woman, you can walk up on me like that and ask me some dumb ass shit like that? Ask me about my wife, talking about this shit got free will? Are you crazy? You insane? This is America. You got free will? You working for TMZ company? I'm a legend. You understand that? I'm here to support Charlie Wilson. You come and ask me some dumb ass shit about my wife. Was that wrong or right?
I'm sorry, Kanye. I just need my phone.
No. Answer the question. I'm supposed to answer your questions. Answer that question. I got your phone now. They gonna arrest me for taking your phone? Arrest me for taking your phone then.
I don't.
You answer the question. You asked me, did my wife have free will? Was that a dumbass, disrespectful question to come ask a grown-ass superhero? What's your address? What you make a year? I'll pay you double what they paying you.
Woo! Woo!
Now you smiling.
Woo!
Get her contact.
Thank you, Kanye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's embarrassing. First of all, you're a grown-ass man calling yourself a superhero. Who the hell are you, Thor? The Hulk? Aquaman next? What the hell are you? You are a phenomenal musician, incredibly gifted, living in a nation, in a culture, in a world that happens to make that career profession you are so gifted at a very profitable profession for you to exploit and capitalize off of. That's number one. Number two, most people are not going to say it, so I'm going to say it. Yes, it was probably a dumbass question. Yes, it was probably a provocative question to set him off or whatever the case may be. But please understand he had no right to snatch her phone. Please understand he had no right to keep her phone in his pocket and refuse to give it back to her. Here's the thing that I want you all to understand. And in fairness, I brought this up about Will Smith, and I'm gonna bring this up now about Kanye West. You did it to the right person, didn't you? If that was some dude that was a Mike Tyson-like figure, a Dwayne Rock Johnson type figure, or somebody that had whipped your ass for snatching their phone, or Michael J. White or somebody, would you have done that? See, this is why there are laws against bullying, because you don't do that with everybody. You know who you're doing it to. And what really alarmed me is that the people around Kanye, nobody said, boss, Kanye, assuming y'all work for him, it's an assumption. I mean, give her back her phone. Just give her back her phone. You didn't have a right to snatch her phone. She asked you a question. She didn't touch you. She didn't put her hands on you or anything that was on your person. You had no right to do that. And see, Kanye West, as brilliant as he is, I still think he's got billions. Maybe not as many billions as he once had, but I'm sure he ain't broke. But these are the kind of things that are alarming. Because why are you reacting like that? It's unnecessary, bro. It's unnecessary. You had no right to snatch her phone. You could chastise her, you could go off on her, you can get in her face for asking you that stupid ass question because it wasn't the brightest question in the world, and I get all of that. But you don't snatch her phone. You don't do something like that. What if somebody had snatched your stuff? What would you or your bodyguards or your handlers or your folks that you got around you or your clique, what if somebody had done something like that to you? What would have happened to them? How come you're not thinking about that when you do it to somebody else? That's the point in all of this. There's nothing laughable about a man walking around in a mask covering his entire face, his eyes, his nose, his mouth, everything, and calling himself a superhero. Brilliant, yes. Brilliant, yes. Stable? I love Kanye West music. I love his work. I just don't like what I see him do sometimes. I just don't. I will say this, though. I like it better than what I'm about to bring up. And allow me to do that right now. Chrisean Rock and Blueface. Y'all know those folks? This is another story percolating in the news. That's why I'm addressing it. Rapper Chrisean Rock. By the way, y'all, talking to folks in my studio, please don't tell me Chrisean Rock is in any way related to Chris Rock.
No!
Thank God. Thank God. Anyway, rapper Chrisean Rock has been reportedly in a rocky on-again, off-again relationship with rapper Blueface, who's currently in jail on a probation violation, according to news reports. Well, this week, she posted a video on her social media while getting Blueface's face tattooed onto her own face. That is in addition to the tattoo she already has of the rapper inked on her throat. First of all, let me say a couple of things. I sincerely hope this relationship works out. Because, Chrisean, you do know that nobody's gonna want you with another man's face tattooed on your face, right? You do know that. Blueface clearly has had a profound impact on your life. There is no doubt about that. I don't know of any woman that has tattooed a man's face on her face. This is a first. I'm gonna need time to recover. Blueface, clearly she loves you, bro. You that dude when it comes to her. Did you have to let her do that, though? That? I'm just asking. Tattoo on the face? Someday, you know, she ain't gonna be just a rap artist. She's gonna be having other jobs, other responsibilities. You know, I try to touch on some of these subjects, but it's only during times like this where I feel old. It's only during times, no other time do I feel old until shit like this happens. Because if my daughter came home with somebody's face tattooed on her anywhere, it's gonna be a problem. Right now, they might have to call social services on me or something like that. And that applies to my nieces. That applies to other relatives who are female, cousins. Oh, hell no. Hell no. But again, to each his own, and I wish you nothing but the best. Clearly, Blueface has somebody that loves him dearly. And he has someone that he has profoundly impacted. I'll leave it at that. Now let's go to some tweets before I get to the phone calls and get on out of here for the day. Let's get right to it. Stephen A. Smith, at NBA, this is from at NBA_paint, right? Sesame Street starting 5. Who you taking? Ooh, okay. First of all, my start 5, Cookie Monster. Definitely that, okay? Can't ignore Big Bird. That's my center right there, okay? Snuffleupagus, no, I'm not feeling that. I don't need that right now. I'm a roll with Elmo. I'm a roll with Ernie. And I am Stephen A., so I can't leave out Oscar the Grouch, okay? So it's Oscar the Grouch, Ernie, Elmo, Big Bird, and Cookie Monster. That's my starting 5 for Sesame Street. How to get to Sesame Street, how to get to Sesame Street. Didn't think I know that, did you? Didn't think I knew that. Let's go to the next one right here, please. At Jared0_NBA. Okay, Stephen A., who you taking in the fight? Godzilla or King Kong? I'm gonna say King Kong. Now I know Godzilla can get underwater, and I know Godzilla can breathe fire and all that other stuff. But you know, King Kong is King Kong. I mean, I ain't seen nobody beat King Kong. You understand? I don't see him lose. I see him befriend opponents eventually and stuff like they get along. I see him get his version of Jane and come to her rescue. So he's a good-natured figure. I'm gonna go with King Kong. I'm gonna go with King Kong because Godzilla, I just don't know. I seen him get his butt kicked a little bit too much. I'm gonna roll with King Kong. Next one up, please. At LeeX216A, right? Who's your celeb crush in each decade you have lived? All right, well, I was born in 1967. So I would like to think I didn't have a crush at 3 years old, but to play along with your question, I would definitely throw Raquel Welch in there. And she was so fine, I'm giving her the 60s and the 70s, okay? But let me take that back because I felt that way about Raquel Welch, who was fine, okay? Until I saw the movie Let's Do It Again. Jane Kennedy. I think it was Let's Do It Again. Bill Cosby. George Foreman was in it, of course, the great Sidney Poitier. And the scene to open the movie where Jane Kennedy has on this skirt and she was walking and he was on a construction, a truck or whatever, and he ran into into a pile or whatever the hell it was. And Jane Kennedy was Halle Berry before Halle Berry. Jane Kennedy was Halle Berry before Halle Berry. This woman was so fine. I used to go to junior high school dreaming about her while I was awake in the class. I wasn't asleep. She was that damn fine. Jane Kennedy. I would tell you her. 80s. Oh, that's a hard one. But I'm going to say Janet Jackson. See, I like voluptuousness, you understand? I don't care how beautiful you are in your face. I can't deal with something flat. That's just me. That's just me. I need a figure. You understand? I need a figure. I need curly hips. You understand? I'm not trying to get too graphic over here, but you understand what I'm saying. That's me. Janet Jackson. All right? That's how I feel about that, because Janet Jackson was something else. All right? And I got to give her love on that level. Now, the 90s hit, and I got to admit to you, there's several. I know they're a little bit older now, but you know, I've been loving Sanaa Lathan for a long time. Long time. So we got to get that out the way. Halle Berry, I'm going to throw her name in there. J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, in living color before she started dating P. Diddy and living her life and was acting and all of this other stuff. J-Lo, no doubt, okay? So I'm going to do that. Turn of the century, Beyonce. I mean, she's off the chain in every way. Used to like Shakira, too. Can't deny that. And then obviously as I've gotten older, you know, you lump them all together. J-Lo is still fine. Sanaa Lathan is still fine. Megan Good, you know, is still fine. Regina Hall, yes. Yes, absolutely. Just to name a few. Gabrielle Union Wade has always been a beautiful woman inside and out. She's a really, really good person. Love her to death. She's a friend. Folks like that. Halle Berry, just saw her a few months ago, and she is fine as she damn near was in the 90s. I mean, she's just spectacular. And so is J-Lo. Okay? There are others, but that's enough. And let me say this. Just a few weeks ago, she was always just gorgeous in every way, and she's a woman's woman. And when I talk about voluptuousness, she comes to mind. That is totally true. But when I think about Angela Bassett, who got robbed of an Oscar last year, by the way, and I think about her being in her 60s, every woman younger should be ashamed of themselves if they're not half as good looking. Because that woman is in the gym. That woman is working out. That woman is taking care of herself. She's living healthy. Whatever it is that she is doing, everybody should find out. You're not supposed to be that fine at that age. Courtney Vance might be the luckiest man alive. We talk about the sexiest man and the sexiest woman alive. How about the luckiest man alive? That dude. I promise y'all right now, if you told every man in this country that happens to be single, that the woman he was dating would look like Angela Bassett when they got in their 60s, that dude would go out and get married. He wouldn't even plan a wedding. He'd go to Justice of the Peace. You tell him he gonna have a wife that look like that in her 60s. That brother getting married. And when I say brother, white, black, Hispanic, don't matter. Angela Bassett speaks to all languages, all nationalities, all ethnicities. She obviously prefers black because it don't crack, and once you get black, you never go back. But you know what I'm saying. Angela Bassett is that woman. She's spectacular. Just thought I'd do that. Got to get to the calls before I get on out of here for the day, all right? 888-SAS-5303. That's 888-727-5303. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the digital airwaves of YouTube, and you're watching as well. Let's go to George in Long Island. You're live with Steve. What's up going on? What's up, George? How you doing?
Hey, Stephen A.
Talk to me.
Long-time fan. How are you?
Appreciate you. What's up?
Sitting home recovering from a car accident. Currently a radio TV broadcast major, focusing on sports broadcasting.
Okay.
Looking to see if you have any advice for someone who's looking to stand out in the sports radio industry, because that's something I'm passionate about and looking to go for as a career.
When you're doing radio, you're going to talk more than you will on any other medium. You're certainly going to talk more than you do in the newspapers or magazines because you're not really talking, you're writing. And you're going to talk more than television because you have more airtime to pontificate and really elaborate on your point. So you got to really, really do your research. You got to really know what the hell you're talking about. And you really should be about the business of pounding that pavement and getting on out there and cultivating sources and resources so there's a bevy of information that'll come your way. So when you get on the air, you'll have an abundance of things to talk about. You also need to be comfortable in front of that microphone, being able to articulate yourself with a level of fluency and smoothness so you're not stumbling and bumbling all over yourself because you're communicating and projecting your voice to your audience. And last but not least, you ingratiate yourself with that audience at hand that's going to call in. You listen to them, you vibe with them, you go up against them, you debate with them, you argue with them, you cajole them, you hug them, you embrace them. You do all of those different things. You bring all facets of your personality to the mix. You get in front of that microphone and you deliver the goods. And last but not least, be consistent. They need to be able to depend on you. They need to be able to know that you're going to be there all the time. That when they click on their radio station, they're going to find you. Because podcasts are exploding for a reason. Because the nation and the world has let you know they want to listen to what they want to listen to, when they want to listen to it, how they want to listen to it. They may not want to watch on TV. They might want to watch on their phone. They want to watch on an iPad or a laptop computer. They may not want to listen to you at 10 a.m. or 12 noon. They might want to wait until late in the afternoon or early on in the evening when they're driving home from work. They make those determinations. And so if you're going to do radio as opposed to podcasting, for example, you have to understand there's a definitive time that you're going to be there. And that, the only way you're going to have success doing that is if you establish appointment viewing. And the only way you establish appointment viewing is by ingratiating yourself with that audience, cultivating a relationship with them, and getting it so it's automatic that they dial in to see you. I've been hosting in Star First Take for the last 12 years. We've been #1 that entire time. Why is it? Because I've ingratiated myself with the audience. They know who I am and what I'm going to deliver. And when they turn on the TV at 10 o'clock, they know they can find me. And they know what they're going to get when they find me. That's what this is about, and that's what you got to remember. Appreciate the call. Hope that helps, George. Take care of yourself.
Orange and blue skies, Stephen A.
Orange
Smith.
and blue
Thank
skies,
you.
baby, no doubt. Jerry in Staten Island, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, Jerry?
Hey, Stephen, I just want to talk about the New York Giants quarterback situation.
Daniel Jones,
Okay.
Mr. $40 million man? That's who you want to talk about?
Not necessarily him, but
Okay.
the guy that's behind him. The
Okay.
Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 47 champion, the 2015 Pro Bowler, who proved this year that he could still be better than a serviceable quarterback in this league.
Who are you talking about, Taylor?
Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, please. Stop it. Stop it. Tyrod Taylor can play. Tyrod Taylor is no scrub. He can play. He belongs in the National Football League. But if you're trying to win a Super Bowl, compete for a Super Bowl, that's not the quarterback that you're looking at. That's not going to cut it. Nobody's going to have faith that that is the direction to go in. So you saying that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
What I want to say about that is, at least in the 99 years history of the New York Giants, he's the second black starting quarterback
Okay.
for this franchise. The first being Geno Smith
Okay.
in 2017, I think it was.
I appreciate that point. I'm a black man. Are you black?
I am not.
Okay, well, I'm a black man, so I have more of an appreciation for that than you do, respectfully. What I'm saying to you is that's not what this is about. This is about your ability to perform. Remember, as black folks, we want equal and fair opportunities. We don't want to be gift wrapped anything. We don't want something handed to us just because of the color of our skin or our ethnicity. We want to earn it. We just want an equal playing field to have the opportunity to do so. So what I'm saying to you is that Tyrod Taylor has had opportunities, and he's not a scrub. He can play, and he belongs on an NFL roster. He belongs and deserves to be receiving an NFL paycheck. Okay? In some cases, he can even start. But when you talk about Super Bowl contention, stop that nonsense. You know better. You know better. All right? Take it easy, man.
Yeah.
Take it
Thank
easy.
you, Stephen.
No problem. Sammy in Connecticut, you're live with Stephen A. What's up? Talk to me.
What's going on, Stephen A?
I'm here. What's up?
I'm calling to talk about our New York Knicks, man.
Yes.
This might be. So I'm 22.
Okay.
22 tomorrow.
Yeah, you're a puppy.
This might be
You said
the best team I've watched.
Hold on. You
in
said
my
you
life.
Hold on. You said you turned 22 tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Happy birthday. That's first things first. Happy birthday
Appreciate
to you.
that, man.
Secondly, you
Yes.
saying this is the best. Are you saying this is the best New York Knicks team, or is this the best team?
No, this is the best New York Knicks team I think I've seen in my
But you're
life.
22,
I
Sammy.
remember the Melo eras a little
You just
bit.
got here.
What happened?
You were just born. You just got allowed to drink. Okay? It was just legal for you to drink, for crying out loud. You're a baby. I mean, you haven't been suffering for that long. I understand the New York Knicks haven't been relevant since before you were born, because the last time they were really, really relevant was 1999, even though they won a division title with Mike Woodson in 2013 and Carmelo Anthony was leading them and what have you. We all knew that they weren't going to win the chip. You had LeBron and those boys in the East. But I'm looking at the New York Knicks right now with Brunson balling the way that he is, looking like a flat-out superstar, to be quite honest with you. He's an MVP candidate right now. He truly, truly is. And then when you look at once Julius Randle comes back, Mitchell Robinson comes back, with the way Dante DiVincenzo played last night and the way he's looking right now, that Villanova Wildcat connection in the starting backcourt for the New York Knicks with Tom Thibodeau coaching them, I got to admit to you, I'm growing to be very, very excited about the New York Knicks. I'll be there Saturday night when they play the Lakers.
So my question is, what do you think a realistic expectation is? Like, at minimum, where should they be?
Conference finals. Conference finals. I'm at that point. Automatic Eastern Conference semifinals. They better make it to the Eastern Conference semifinals. I think the Knicks could get to the conference finals. I think they could do it.
Yeah.
I think they could do it. That's where I'm at. Appreciate the call, man.
Yeah.
Let's go to Paul in L.A. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Paul? How are you?
Good, Stephen A. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you for calling. What's up?
Of course. So, quick question. If you're looking through the lens of Darvin Ham, what do you think his actual strategy is? I mean, the team looks lost. Everyone seems to be waiting for someone else to step up. Ball movement is up and down. Just trying to find the logic behind what he's doing.
It's hard.
What is he doing?
It's hard to judge the logic. Here's why. First of all, Darvin Ham guided the Los Angeles Lakers to the Western Conference Finals last year. Let's give credit where credit is due. This year, Anthony Davis looks better. LeBron still looks like an all-star caliber player, superstar in this league. D'Angelo Russell came on strong, but it was only after he was benched and then reinserted into the starting lineup. Austin Reeves looks like the summer compromised him because he hasn't been the same since. Jared Vanderbilt is a defender and a rebounder and an energizer bunny. All right, Rui Hachimura has been injured. He hasn't been healthy. And I think foolishly, they let go of the point guard that they had last year coming off the bench. Let him get away to Toronto. And they need to get somebody like him back. And so I look at it from that standpoint, and I say the jury is still out, but time is running out. The Los Angeles Lakers are vying for a play-in spot in the tournament. That is not good. And right now, the team in Los Angeles is the Los Angeles Clippers, not the Lakers. And by the way, Dennis Schroeder was the name. My bad. I had brain lock, and Dennis Schroeder was the name of the point guard that they let get away. They should have kept him.
So you think all these different lineups are warranted?
Yes, because you're trying to figure out, because you know who to play, but then when they get on the court and don't produce, what are you supposed to do? Stick with them? The only people you can stick with is Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Dennis Schroeder and those boys went to the conference finals. You let go of Dennis Schroeder, you bring in Gabe Vincent, he ain't available all season long. He can't play because he was injured. And so where does that leave you? You were stuck with D'Angelo Russell, he wasn't balling, so you put him on the bench and you put Austin Reeves in there, okay, whether it be with Vanderbilt or somebody else, and what did you get? So D'Angelo Russell has come on strong, averaging 27 points over the previous 7 games until the last couple of games they've lost. But they got to get it together. At some point in time, the guys that they have on that roster got to produce.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
And they're not doing it. And I think to some degree it's a distraction. There's a lot of distractions in L.A., which you can speak to. You know?
Yep, absolutely.
The sun's going to shine tomorrow. Sun's going to shine tomorrow. So you know what level of urgency is there? You know what you threaten them with? You know what I suggested last week on TV? I said, yo, man, everybody outside of Anthony Davis and LeBron James grab them, take them for a ride around Southern California while the weather's really, really nice. Sun is
Yep.
shining, show them the palm trees, show them Rodeo, show them Beverly Hills, show them the Beverly Park up the hills, show them Mulholland Drive and all of these beautiful homes off of Sunset Boulevard and all that other stuff, right? And then ask them, you want to be here? Or you want to go someplace? You want to go to Utah someplace? What you going to do? That's what you need to do.
Couldn't agree more.
That's what you need.
Agree, Stephen A.
Appreciate you, Paul.
Well,
thanks a lot, my
sending
man.
you love from SoCal.
No doubt. Always. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. Last caller, Trey in Texas. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Trey? How are you, man?
I'm good, man. By yourself?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for calling. What's going on?
I have a question about Jordan and Isaiah Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they will ever crush their beef or no?
Isaiah Thomas and Jordan?
Yes, sir.
Never. Jordan can't.
Really?
Jordan doesn't like him, and Isaiah doesn't appreciate being disliked because he doesn't believe it's warranted. Jordan is not going to let go of the wars they had when he was a Chicago Bull and he was a Detroit Piston and all of that other stuff, and he's never really liked him, and he's made no apologies about it. He respects the hell out of him. He thinks that Isaiah Thomas is the second greatest point guard in the history of basketball. He says that often. His issue is that, you know what, he just doesn't like him, but he respects him, and he believes that the respect should be enough. Isaiah wants to be liked. He'll get over it if he's not, but he would appreciate being liked, and that's not going to happen with Michael Jordan. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
You're my favorite
Appreciate it.
celebrity, man.
Thanks a lot, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. John McDonough, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A. How's it going?
I'm all right. Talk to me.
Hey, I've got some concerns about the Celtics and their championship hopes with this roster. They look great right now.
Let me see if your concerns match with mine. Tell me what your concern is, and I'll share with you what mine is.
So I don't think Jaylen Brown is a good enough number two to win a championship. That's my concern.
That's not my concern. He is a good enough number two to win the championship. Remember, he played better in the finals than Jason Tatum did. He was balling in the finals against Golden State a couple of years ago. That wasn't his fault. He needs to do a better job of going left, like Rasheed Wallace pointed out earlier. But no question about it, he is good enough. Here's the problem with the Boston Celtics. I don't think you win jacking up 43 to 45 threes a game. I think that you have to have something on the interior. You got to be able to put the ball in the basket in the hole. You got to find somebody that can play with their back to the basket and can put the ball in the hole down in the paint for you. That's my personal belief. I don't believe they have that right now, and that is my concern.
Okay. All right. Now who's your NBA favorite?
I got Boston coming out of the East. I got Boston, Denver, but I'm not ruling out the Clippers. I think the Clippers have the talent to do it, and Kawhi Leonard, is an absolute superstar when healthy. The issue is Denver's big. And what happens is they're going to play big ball basketball in the postseason. And whether or not that's going to be effective against the Denver Nuggets remains to be seen. All bets are off if Jamal Murray comes to ball. Because if Jamal Murray is playing, there's nothing the Clippers can do with the Denver Nuggets. But if Kawhi, Paul George, and James Harden come to ball, then there's a lot the Clippers could do to cause damage in the Western Conference. And don't sleep on Minnesota, because even though they're young and appear to be dumb at times with some of the stupid stuff they did, like the other night when Karl Anthony Towns was en route to dropping 62. Here's the reality. You can't go out there and be losing games because you're trying to get 60 points and stuff like that. The flip side to it, however, is this. They're an elite defensive team. Rudy Gobert is a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. He's a 7-foot shot blocker and rebounder. Karl Anthony Towns is 6'11", and he can drop 25 a night if you ask him to, because he can shoot the ball really well. And Anthony Edwards is a superstar in the making. And Mike Conley Jr. is steady at the point guard spot. The Minnesota Timberwolves are arguably the biggest threat to Denver, even more so than the Clippers. I'm just leaning on the Clippers because of their veteran leadership and their playoff experience and their championship pedigree led by Kawhi Leonard. But Minnesota's got size and athleticism and depth and youthful legs on their squad. We can't ignore that. And I give them the edge over the Oklahoma City Thunder, who plays hard all the time, but I don't think they have the physicality to match with these other teams come playoff time. So that's where I'm at with it, all right?
Yeah, I agree with you. The Clippers are great, and it's all about durability.
All right.
Can those guys hold up?
All right. I appreciate the call, John. You take care of yourself. All the best to you. That's it for this edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show. Really, really appreciate y'all sticking around. As always, the number to call up into the show when I am in studio is 888-727-5303. That's 888-SAS-5303. Thanks again to Rasheed Wallace for coming on to the show. Thank you all for watching. I've enjoyed talking to you. Love the tweets, love the calls. Keep the love coming. I'm going to keep on coming. Until next time, specifically this Friday, this is Stephen A. Smith signing off. Peace and love, everybody.